You guys are watching NFL Daily presented by Manscaped. They're coming along the ride with us here for a 2022 NFL mock draft done by Todd McShay. As a reminder, folks, save 20% and get free shipping at manscaped.com/chat. Now, this order from ESPN Todd McShay was based on their power rankings, so no complaining about it in the comments section, okay? We will complain, though, about some of the picks and fits, as difficult as it is to identify what could go down in 2022. The number one pick here was Kayvon Thibodeaux, the edge rusher out of Oregon. Now, I love him. I think he is the best player in the 2022 draft as we sit right now when everything's going to change. But edge in round one, at number one, I kind of wonder if they might just take a quarterback if there's one that they like. Number two, to the Detroit Lions, was Kedon Slovis. And maybe I'm just being mean, but I cannot get the Pac-12 championship game out of my head. I thought Slovis was terrible in that game. He was pretty clutched it down the stretch. But for McShay to have Slovis as his best quarterback right now, I can't get there. This quarterback class in general is really tough. There's no Justin Fields. There's no Trevor Lawrence right now, but there are a lot of potential options. So head on down to the comments section here and let me know who you think the best quarterback prospect is going to be in the 2022 NFL Draft. Is it Slovis, Sam Howell, Rattler, Malik, Willis? Plenty of names there. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Derek Stingley, the pick here at number 3. And I get that 2022 mock drafts this early are all about just the players. Here's what I don't get. The Jacksonville Jags spent a top 10 pick on C.J. Henderson in 2020, a top 33 pick on Tyson Campbell in 2021, and signed Shaquille Griffin. How the hell are they playing all these corners? Why are you investing so much? That does not make sense to me. Did we forget about Shaquille Griffin? In all seriousness? I think upside-wise, he could be better than all those players if he bounces back after, I thought it was a down 2020. But at 3 to Jacksonville, that does not make sense to me, even though the player is great. Charles Cross is the pick here out of Mississippi State. I get it, you're building around Mekhi Becton and Cross and Elijah Vera Tucker. The offensive tackle class is going to be intriguing. There's not it's been great the past 2 years. I wonder how the 2022 version ends up shaking out. Bengals get a left tackle now at number 5, Zion Nelson out of Miami. Played pretty darn well for the Hurricanes this past year. Still pretty young. He's played 20 games in 2 years at left tackle. Maybe you move Jonah Williams to right tackle if you take Zion. Either way, you protect Joe Burrow, and I like that. A safety early, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame to the Panthers here, fills a need, and I love Hamilton, the prospect. I think there is a ton of upside here as a potential single high free safety. You don't often see safeties go this early, but I do think Hamilton is worthy of that. It potentially, of course, it's all projection, right, in 2022. Now, you are not beholden to your take in this comment. You can change your mind if players end up being bad this year, because that's what happens in college football. But who is your favorite 2022 NFL draft prospect? This question is the pinned comment on today's news. Get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, and get your votes in. Sam Howell here at number 7. Howell has played really well as a 2-year starter entering his now true junior year. I've seen growth, and he could have a Baker Mayfield-type jump if after losing a ton of key players, Diami Brown, Daz Newsome, Michael Carter, and Javonte Williams, if his top 4 offensive playmakers leave and he balls out again, Howell could be the number 1 overall pick in 2022. Aiden Hutchinson here, the pick, the edge rusher out of Michigan. I don't know how perfect a fit he is in a 3-4 scheme, but he's been more productive than Kwity Paye, who went in round 1. So I like Hutchinson as a first-round prospect as we currently sit. It's actually back-to-back picks here by the Giants. This one coming from the Chicago Bears as part of the Justin Fields trade. I love this one. Evan Neal has played Started a bunch of games at right tackle, at left guard, and I think this next year's going to move to left tackle. He popped every game watching Alex Leatherwood. He was mean. He was a mauler. I love Evan Neal, my early number 1 offensive lineman. He could go even earlier than this if he plays like he did this past year. Cornerback now for the Raiders, Kaiir Elam out of Florida. Good size, good speed, good playmaking, all the boxes that you want. And, if Trayvon Moan and Damon Arnett don't take a step forward, well, the Raiders would certainly be in the market for a top corner. Yes, by the way, he is related to Matt Elam, the former Florida safety. He is his nephew. A little bit weird age-wise, but that's how life works. That is Kaiir Elam to the Raiders at number 10. Manscaped just released the Lawnmower 4.0, and you can save 20% and get free shipping on the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their great products when you head over to manscaped.com/chat. Don't forget, if you need to, by the way, to use promo code CHAT at checkout. Lawnmower 4.0, more ergonomic design. They've improved the lighting, the battery life, the charging, all that stuff. And they've added multiple different heads that you can use to adjust just how tight of a shave you want down there. You can save 20% on Lawnmower 4.0 and everything available at Manscaped when you go to the link right there, bottom of your screen. You see it? Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping on everything. Just don't forget to use our URL, which will be in the comments section and in the description. Spencer Rattler here, the pick at number 11. I saw growth down the stretch for Rattler. And if that continues, because again, projection is so important in these way too early mock drafts, I like Rattler. If the growth continues, Lincoln Riley's track record is pretty darn expensive. All right, Chris Olave, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, who I love. And this one, to me, this is your Julio Jones replacement. I am surprised it's Olave over Garrett Wilson, who we'll get to later on, but he's a fantastic player, very productive. I am curious to see how the Ohio State receivers fare with not Justin Fields in there at quarterback. George Karlaftis, the edge rusher out of Purdue, was great in 2019, limited in 2020. The Vikings need an edge there. I think Karlaftis is going to have a big-time year. I like putting him here in round 1. Sevyn Banks, first off, great name, out of Ohio State, goes to the Arizona Cardinals here. The Buckeyes have always produced corners. Banks outplayed Shaun Wade last year. Not saying that much. If he plays well again, he could be a first-round pick. Malik Willis, and I'm glad that McShay put him on here. Right this second, no, he's probably not a first-round pick. But the guy I saw at Liberty has shown enough dual-threat playmaking that I think he is worthy of the round discussion. Just like Jordan Love, just like just like Trey Lance, the dual threat is here to stay, and Malik Willis has the ability to do that in the NFL. The 5th quarterback here for Todd McShay in his mock draft. Number 16 overall, Desmond Ridder is the pick, and I'm intrigued by this one, and I was a little bit surprised that Ridder didn't actually go pro this past year. I thought there was a very real chance that Ridder would turn pro and have been, maybe the 6th quarterback taken in this past NFL draft. But he went back to school, going to go try and win more successes with Cincinnati. He'll be a little bit older. I want to see more big plays out of him. But again, dual threat ability here as well. And we all know that Big Ben is not going to be here forever in the NFL. So how many quarterbacks then do you think will go in round 1 next year? This is the end of Todd McShay's quarterbacks. He had 5 in there. So make your predictions. Is it 2, 3, 4? Is it 0? Could it be a 0 year? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. Isaac Taylor-Stewart, the cornerback out of USC. Great size. I think enough speed there. Could be in for a big year. You lose Elijah Griffin to the NFL. ITS now, his chance to emerge is coming up this season. I loved putting DeMarvin Neal on this list from Todd McShay here. Really good year for A&M. a lot of flashes there, 7 tackles for loss, had a pick and a forced fumble in 2020. Only 2.5 sacks, but the athletic traits are there. I think DeMarvin Lee's going to have a big-time breakout year and will be the first interior defense lineman taken in next year's NFL draft. George Pickens, the pick here out of Georgia. If he were fully healthy, he might go top 10. Unfortunately for Pickens, tore his ACL in March. And I think that means there is a chance he goes back to school for another year. If he turns pro, if he's healthy, there is unquestionably first-round talent. Great height, weight, speed, and very productive in a rotating group of Georgia quarterbacks over the past few seasons. If you guys want more NFL draft videos, then subscribe. We will do some way too early prospect rankings. We'll do a bunch of awesome coverage here for you from now all up and through the NFL draft next year. Daily videos here at Chat Sports. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. Number 20 to Philadelphia, Bubba Bolden here. Now, technically, by the way, folks, this pick is from the Indianapolis Colts. Bolden was originally at USC, then transferred to Miami, and had 74 tackles and 4 forced fumbles in 2020. A big-time year. If he keeps growing, I like him as a round 1 guy. Jalen Wydermyer, the pick here now for the Dallas Cowboys, number 21. It's fine. And look, Blake Jarwin is talented. He flashed before he got hurt. Dalton Schultz actually played pretty well. I don't think tight end is a need, although I do think that Wydermyer is the early number 1 tight end for next year's draft. Oh, look, another Alabama receiver, John Mechie III, who was originally born in Taiwan, by the way, and then moved to Ghana, Canada, Maryland, and New Jersey. So a very lengthy movement life for John Mechie, who now in Tuscaloosa. I don't think he's as good, which isn't saying that much because the other guys are really good. He's not on the same tier, at least right now, as a Ruggs, a Waddle, a Smith, or a Judy. I don't love him this early, but if he breaks out as the number 1 guy, hey, anything's possible. I love Garrett Wilson. I think McShay has him too low at number 23. I think Wilson is the better receiver versus Chris Olave. I think that Wilson is worthy of a top 15 pick, and I worry about the production given the different quarterback here, but I think that Wilson is going to be a first-round pick. I think both those Ohio State receivers will end up getting that nod. Nick Broeker, the offensive tackle here out of Ole Miss. I found it intriguing that McShay mocked another tackle to Miami, given that they drafted Austin Jackson in round 1 in 2020, and then Liam Eichenberg this year in round 2. So making those guys fit when Broeker is a left tackle is intriguing to me, but hey, you're investing in offensive line. Can't complain too much there. Zach Harrison, another Buckeye here in round 1 to the Jets at 25. This one via Seattle's pick. 6'6", 268. It's a little big for a 3-4 edge, but excuse me, they're moving to a 4-3, so I kind of get it there. Yeah, I need more pass rush if I'm New York, so I think Harrison is going to have some round 1 hype around him, so I like that for New York. And I think back into round 1, that's why I had him in my way too early 2022 mock draft. Now, Ohio State, Alabama, and kind of sort of Clemson do not have a returning starter at quarterback. Is it going to be Bama versus Clemson again or Ohio State again? Who do you think will win the college football playoff this upcoming year? We're talking college football now. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. All right, pick number 26 by Todd McShay. Rasheed Walker out of Penn State. This would be a position switch here. Left tackle for the Nittany Lions. Again, I think there are a lot of good potential offensive line prospects. I like this here by McShay. Both a big fan, also not a big fan here of Drake Jackson. I think he's really good. I think he might go 10, 15 picks before this. Like, it's obviously Kayvon Thibodeaux as the number 1 edge. I think Drake Jackson is in the conversation for edge number 2. And he feels a big-time need for Cleveland. If they were to get him at 27 based on what I think he's going to be, I think it would be a steal. All right, Mike Jones, who, by the way, is a transfer from Clemson to LSU. Detroit, they're back on the board here as part of their Rams Matthew Stafford trade. Didn't quite produce the way that I wanted him to. He fits that modern tweener role. He's listed at 6 foot 220. Might be smaller, but I do want some more speed at linebacker for Detroit. Back-to-back linebacks, I like this player more. Christian Harris. Now, coverage still needs to get better. But if you're a multi-year starter at Alabama, even if it's not round 1, you are going to get drafted. Back-to-back Bama picks here. Harris to the Green Bay Packers, and Josh Jobe to the Buffalo Bills here. Corner's a big-time need. Look, he's not Patrick Surtain, but he had 11 pass breakups last season. I would not be surprised if another Bama player ends up getting some round 1 buzz. I love Isaiah Spiller. Now, we can debate the running back value here because that's fair, but the running backs are going to be free agents in the not-too-distant future. Only Keyshawn Vaughn is under contract beyond next year for Tampa. And I think Isaiah Spiller at 6'1", 225 was awesome. Offers pass-catching value, average over 5.5 yards per carry. He is a really good back, so I'll get that for Tampa. Then there's Xavier Thomas, a former very highly touted edge rusher. Now, he only played 7 games, put up 3.5 sacks last year for Clemson. However, he missed the beginning of 2020 due to COVID-19 issues. He was not quite right. In fact, they thought he was going to miss the entire year there. So, Xavier Thomas, if he is healthy and gets back to his hyped form, could make a lot of sense at the back end of round 1 for a team that can use a pass rusher like KC. So grade Todd McShay's mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Get your votes in for me in the comment section. It is a 2022 way too early mock draft. It's kind of like a round 7 pick for me. It can't be lower than a C. There's so much guessing and projecting. It's really tough to actually identify what's going to be wrong and right. Everything's going to change, but it's a nice early look at some potential prospects. So get your votes in for me, grade it, and I guess you can be mean if you want, A, B, C, D, or F. There were some other guys I wanted to mention I thought got left out. I like Kenyon Green a lot. I am a big fan of his. Ahmad Gardner, under the radar, but I thought was great for Cincinnati. I'll mention JT Daniels amongst other quarterbacks. He was good down the stretch. Former 5-star, we'll see. Jordan Davis, if he can offer more pass rush value, he could have a really good year and get some round 1 buzz. And then Justin Ross, coming off the scary neck back issue, if he's 100% and gets cleared medically, he has first-round talent.